was a loaded attack
It was.
from Sadiq Khan. You and your ilk. What's he talking about, Jim? What does he mean?
I've never thought of myself as an ilk, more of a caribou, really. I don't know what he meant. I think he was sort of saying, though we don't like Jim Davidson, and he's the one that votes Tory, so they're all bad, him and people like him.
But who? What white men?
Old people, foot fetish, sort of stockings, and anything. What is an ilk? What does he mean by me? People that vote Conservative. So we're the bad guys. If you don't agree with the little funny Mayor Khan, you are by default the bad guy.
But quite a lot of critics have actually said that comment from him was racist, because if you were to have said that about him, Sadiq Khan and his ilk...
Well, it doesn't really bother me. I don't mind people being racist about me. It doesn't bother me. But the ilk thing, for someone that comes from, I don't know, what is it, in Pakistani background or whatever, a ethnic minority, as it was called, shouldn't generalise. I get accused of generalising, about things. And comedians generalise about people, especially the old ones. So he should know better than to say an ilk. What is my ilk? I think all the ilks should get together and say to him, look, stop being so silly. Get on with it. He looks very angry, doesn't he? For a little bloke.
Well, he's an angry man.
Fog on, leg on, doesn't he?
He's an angry man, and he's destroying what I think was the greatest city in the world.
Yeah.
But I think what is inexcusable to me, Jim, is the way that he wants to sow division. Because look, yes, on the whole, London is a Labour city, but at the last mayoral election, Sean Bailey, who's one of our superstar panelists, came damn close to knocking Khan off his perch. So to sort of dismiss all Tory voters as bad people, which I think he was doing there, I think is incredibly intolerant from a man who claims, that he's supposed to be kind to mob.
It sort of tells you what he really is, what he's really thinking. I think he's let himself go. And for someone that rules one of the greatest cities in the world, he should know better than to say that, especially about me. I'm quite hurt.
Poor Jim. I'll protect you.
Dan, you're wasting away.
Shut up.
No, you've got to eat steak and chips 3 times after meals now.
No, I'm not allowed carbs.
Here's you, look. You can't see Dan now. Look behind this.
As if, no, I'm doing this new 16-8 thing where you're not meant to eat for 16 hours a day. But anyway, I struggle with that because I want to eat for 24 hours
a day. Just eat as much as you want, but don't swallow anything. That's it. Don't swallow, Dan. It's bad for you.
Now, Jim, back to Mr. Khan.
Yes.
Is it true that no celebrities support the Conservative Party? Is that your experience?
To be honest with you now, I've always said to my Conservative mates, I will go along and do a show to raise money for these young MPs and whatever. But I won't go stand on the soapbox and say blah, blah. I think celebrity endorsement, and this is where he might be right, celebrity endorsement is a double-edged weapon, So the Conservatives don't have me as a celebrity to do stuff. I support them. I happen to be a celebrity or an ex-celebrity, whichever way you want to have a look at it.
Oh, you're a celebrity, Jim. Come on. Don't be so modest, please.
I just wanted to hear you say it. No, but Eddie Izzard is a celebrity supporter. I'm not really.
But isn't the issue, though, that because of these sorts of attacks from left-wing politicians, actually, lots of celebrities now are scared stiff?
You can't say I'm a Conservative because you get beaten up. You'll get bullied. Like, especially with this Khan and these militant lefties, will say, he disagrees with us. He's the bad guy. It's wrong. It's wrong. And so if he's saying Jim Davidson and his ilk, does he mean the ilk that voted the Conservative Party in?
Or the 52% of people who voted for Brexit, who he sees.
3 words. That's genuinely all it took. Jim Davidson and his ilk. Spoken by the Mayor of London, Sadiq Khan, in what was probably meant to be a casual dismissal, maybe even a punchline. But those 3 words didn't land as a joke. They landed as a verdict. On a comedian, yes, but more than that, on an entire category of people. Conservative voters, Leave voters, older, traditionally minded Britons. And suddenly, a throwaway remark became the most talked about moment in British political commentary that week. So let's talk about why this actually matters, because it goes much deeper than one mayor and one comedian trading barbs. Britain right now is a country running on exhaustion, cost of living squeezing households, public services under enormous strain, political trust at historic lows. And underneath all of it, this deepening, uncomfortable fault line, a sense that the country has split into two tribes who don't just disagree with each other, but genuinely hold each other in contempt. London sits right at the centre of that tension. And Sadiq Khan, the city's long-serving mayor, walked straight into it when he used Jim Davidson as shorthand for a type of person he clearly has no time for. Now, Jim Davidson, veteran comedian, openly conservative, a figure the cultural left has always viewed with suspicion, responded in a way that was actually quite revealing. He wasn't furious. He was bemused. "I've never thought of myself as an ilk," he said. Deadpan. More of a caribou. Classic comedian's deflection. But then he said something that cut through the laughter. He called it a generalization. He pointed out the irony of a man from an ethnic minority background, a group that has historically fought against being reduced to a stereotype, lumped together as a type, using exactly that dismissive language about other people. And he had a point, because his ilk doesn't just mean Jim Davidson, it means everyone like him. Everyone who voted Conservative. Everyone who voted Leave. Everyone who doesn't share the mayor's worldview. That's not a small group. That's millions of ordinary British people being quietly told they belong to the wrong category. Here's where the political strategy gets interesting, because nothing in politics is truly accidental. Khan knows his audience. Labour, London, young, diverse, culturally progressive. Throwing a casual jab at Jim Davidson is red meat for that crowd. It gets the laugh. It signals loyalty. It says, I know who we are and I know who they are. But the problem with that kind of politics is that it keeps proving the right's most powerful argument that working class and culturally traditional Britons are looked down upon by the metropolitan establishment. Every time a prominent left-wing figure frames Conservatives not as people with different ideas, but as a lesser type, they hand their opponents a gift wrapped in a bow. And the fact that Conservative celebrities largely stay silent, Davidson himself admitted that publicly backing the Tories risks professional punishment, bullying. Being cast as the bad guy tells you everything about the cultural climate these conversations happen in. The public reaction split exactly as you'd expect, and that itself is the story. Khan's supporters said, relax, it's politics, people are too sensitive. His critics asked a simple, pointed question. Imagine if someone had said Sadiq Khan and his ilk. There would have been no debate about whether it was acceptable. Everyone would already know. And that double standard, that asymmetry in who gets the benefit of the doubt, is precisely what fuels the sense of grievance that makes moments like this explode far beyond their apparent size. Because at the end of it all, this is what really matters. The way a leader speaks tells you who they think deserves respect. When a politician implies that a certain type of person is something to be mocked, millions of people who identify with that type don't forget it. They carry it. Britain desperately needs leaders who can speak to the whole country, not just their base, not just the people already in their corner. Leaders who understand that governing a great city means governing for everyone in it, including the people who didn't vote for you. Jim Davidson and his ilk. 3 words meant to get a laugh. Instead, they revealed something far more uncomfortable, that in modern Britain, the loudest voices demanding tolerance sometimes have the least of it to offer. And until our political leaders reckon honestly with that, the divide doesn't heal. It just gets quieter and deeper.